Deep in the heart of the jungle, high above the treetops, lived a giant stork. Wishes. This stork was so big that it could carry an entire elephant calf in its beak. And it wasn't just any stork. Oh no, it was a magical stork. You see, this stork had the power to heal the sick and wounded. It could mend a broken wing with a single touch of its beak. It could cure a fever with a splash of water from its beak. And it could even grant one day, a group of poachers entered the jungle in search of the giant stork. They wanted to capture it and take it back to the city to perform for money. The storks were magical powers. But before they could reach the storks, the poachers' boat capsized. And when they finally got themselves upright, they saw the giant stork standing over them. It had come to rescue them. From that day on, the poachers became the stork's friends and vowed to protect it from harm. Then, one day, a terrible storm swept through the jungle. It was the worst storm anyone could remember. Houses were destroyed, trees were uprooted, and many people were injured. Hearing the cries of the people, the giant stork knew it had to help. It flew down from its treetop home and landed in the middle of the city. At first, the people were scared to approach the giant bird, but when they saw the kindness in its eyes, they knew it was there to help. The stork began by carrying the lost children back to their homes. Then it put out a fire that had been burning out of control by scooping water from a nearby river in its beak and dropping it on the flames. Seeing the stork's amazing powers, the people cheered and sang its praises. But the storm was still raging outside the city walls. People's homes were still being destroyed, and many were still afraid for their loved ones who were out in the storm. The giant stork knew it had to do something to stop the storm, so it spread its massive wings and flew up into the clouds. As the stork flew, it sang a beautiful song. Its voice was so powerful that it calmed the wind and the rain began to slow down. Soon, the storm had passed and the sun was shining through the clouds. The people looked up and saw the giant stork circling above them. They knew they had to do something to show their gratitude. So they gathered together and built a giant nest out of branches and leaves. Then they filled it with food and water. And when the stork landed, they cheered and sang and danced. And so the giant stork became a hero to the people of the city. Every day it would fly down from its treetop home and help the people in any way it could. And the people would show their gratitude by bringing it food and singing its praises. And so the giant stork lived out the remainder of its days as a happy and helpful bird. A giant stork has been spotted in the Polish forest. This stork is abnormally large, just like the one from the Polish legend. These long-legged birds are known for their loud croaks and their habit of stealing babies. In this video, you'll see a giant stork that looks like it just flew in from prehistoric times. It's hard to believe that such creatures still exist today. Storks are typically white, but this one has darker feathers, making it look more like a giant crow. Some people say that seeing a stork is a good omen, but I wouldn't want to encounter this bird of prey in the wild. These birds usually stick to swamps and lakes, but this one was spotted in a forest, which is even more impressive considering how big it is. If it had wings, it would definitely be able to fly, but even if it can't fly, it's still very dangerous. If you look closely, you'll see that it has a very sharp beak, and that's not something you want to mess with. These birds are known for their intelligence, and this one seems to be no exception. It's able to outsmart humans, and it's not afraid to show its power. The Polish legend says that the storks live in a world of their own, where they have magical powers. They can control the weather and they can grant wishes. Some people believe that the storks are actually fairies in disguise. This video was posted online by a user named Sandra. She said that she saw the giant stork while hiking in the forest. She was so shocked by what she saw that she started recording. The video immediately went viral and people couldn't believe what they were seeing. Some people said that it's fake, but there's no evidence to support this claim. It's more likely that this is a real stork that just looks bigger than normal. There are many different species of storks, and they come in all shapes and sizes. It is possible that this is a rare species that is more common in other parts of the world. It's hard to believe, but these birds are still around today. We just don't hear about them very often because they live in remote areas. If you ever see a giant stork, be careful. They may look beautiful, but they're also very dangerous. Just like the one in the Polish legend, they could steal your baby.